So that's really wonderful. If the kids would like to say something about what they found most interesting in my class this year. Lila? Okay. No. Rabbi said, no, I have to hurry it up. But, yeah, but they...
Stick to the script.
But they're two very, very bright, or three very, very bright students, and I'm looking forward to their second year with me.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Sarah Finegood. I was the Gesher 4 teacher this year, and I had, the pleasure of taking Edie's class from last year, and it was the biggest class that I had had yet, which was a really great challenge and such a great group of kids. Since this is their bar and bat mitzvah year, I really tried to challenge them to think beyond Gesher and beyond, their school life, because they, now they are adults and they'll be soon joining, college or the workforce and, their adulthood, and how their Jewishness can interact and be a big part of that if they wish, if they wish it to be so. And there's so many different ways that can look. And so I think I really tried to push them to think about their own lives and how, they operate throughout, the world, and how they can incorporate, Jewishness into that. And I think a big thing that they ended up outlining that, what they were interested in is pursuing the community with themselves, in their friend group as a class was really beautiful to watch and see how close they are. And, I think, that was their biggest goal moving forward, is to keep their community really strong together, because they'll always have each other. And yeah, that was a big part, a big part of our class. We also did some projects like making their own Shabbat candle holders that they can take with them moving forward, which I thought was really cool. We did Hamantations for Purim, and yeah, they did amazing on their service that we did back in November. I think it was in November. And they just have surprised me at every turn with their Hebrew, especially when we were doing the 4 questions. I was expecting them to kind of struggle along with it, but I mean, each one just flew by, every single one, and I was just amazed and continue to be. So I was really lucky to get to teach this class.
So I had the bit of a pleasure to work with all of our groups of students bouncing around as needed week by week. So I really got to just see all of them and see them grow and see them, learn and see what everybody was doing. And I'm just excited to continue to work with everybody next year. So I didn't really have a set thing, but we'll see what should be.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I have Gesher 5, which is why we're all here today. They're the confirmation group. I've had them for the last couple years. We did a lot. We went through the Holocaust curriculum. We read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, along with a philosophical approach to the afterlife, another book. But anyway, they're great. They're the most enthusiastic, and I do believe I'm very, very blessed to have them. So, everybody, thanks for coming.
Confirmation began as a way for the early reformers to replace bar mitzvah, actually, or bar mitzvah really at that point. But it was a way for them to create a ceremony that was more aligned with what they saw at some of their churches next door, for instance. And so they created this, they borrowed the ceremony actually from the Lutherans in the 1830s and 40s in Germany. And then when it made its way here to the United States, we continued to have a confirmation. And we didn't really have bar mitzvah. In fact, Walter Harf was the first bar mitzvah in the old building on 10th Street in 1940, and the building opened in 1930. Right? So for a long period of time, bar mitzvah was not something that we participated in. And then bar mitzvah kind of came back into practice as more traditional Jews moved into the city and moved into North American Jewish life. And so we have maintained confirmation as a way of an opportunity for teenagers to confirm and talk about who they are, having had a little bit of distance and time from sometime when they were 13, now that they are 15 or 16, some of them, and the opportunity to think about that in ways that they are able to at 16 that they weren't able to, and 3 years before, in terms of being an early adolescent. And so we're thrilled that you are all here with us, and with that, we will begin our service. Confirmation happens around the time of Shavuot, which is where we are today, and confirmation is chosen around this time because it's around this time where we celebrate receiving the Torah and receiving the Ten Commandments, and so that'll be part of our service as well. So the prayer book for the service is all going to be on the screen this morning. And there we are. Okay, as we celebrate with Sabrina Ford, Sophia Ford, Benjamin Fuller, Rose Fuller, Trenton Maldette, and Josephine Stout. Please.
It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. You have gladdened us by your deeds, Adonai, we shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs.
Okay, please rise.
Yitkada v'yitkada Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalmad yivrach yurute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayed kol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'v'zman kariv. V'imru, amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam le'omaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitroman, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, Shemei Kudasha, brichu, le'olam min kol birchata v'tshirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran bi'alma v'meru, amen. Baruch et Adonai hamavorach, Baruch et Adonai havarach le'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. Love thy neighbor as yourself, you said, and light blinded we saw, that inner and out worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back, climbed again, your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'ma'orot.
Please be seated.
Okay. My family first converted to Judaism in Utah when I was about 3 years old. One of my earliest memories is going into the mikvah with my dad, my mom, and my little sister. When we moved up to Erie, coming to temple and Sunday school was a huge part of my life. I remember learning about being Jewish in the most fun ways. I loved being Jewish. Singing during services and in music class sparked my love for music, and it is something that I still love to this day. As I got older, I stopped coming to temple as much, especially when COVID hit. I started to feel disconnected from Judaism and God. The past couple of years, I've been trying to get back into it, and I'm incredibly grateful that I have. I no longer dread coming to temple. I find it to be an all-around enriching experience. I love being at temple and getting to see a new generation of kids grow up loving being Jewish and coming to Sunday school. I still have so much to learn about being Jewish, and I'm so excited to close this chapter of my life and start a new one. Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam livanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'betecha uvlechtecha v'derech uvshocha uvkumecha ukshartam le'od al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha Uklachtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Laman tizkeru va'asitem ekol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim le'ot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children, recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and be holy to your God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. To me, my journey in the Jewish community has given me some of my best memories overall. In April, me and a few of my classmates went to Washington, D.C. We visited many different places, like the Holocaust Museum and the African American History Museum. But the most impactful part to me was when we visited another congregation for Shabbat service. We were all so welcome there, and I felt accepted in a room full of strangers. This made me realize, no matter my race, gender, or sexuality, I would always be welcomed by the Jewish community. Growing up in our community has shaped me into the young woman I am today, and I'm so grateful for everyone who has supported me along the way. I've never felt so welcomed and comfortable in any community, and I thank you all for creating the best environment for me to grow up in. When I first came to Temple, it was kind of a surreal experience. Before, the only Jewish experiences I had consisted of several services and celebrations at the Hallel at Allegheny College. I was partly convinced that my family, a few others in Meadville, and a handful of college students were all that consisted of the Jewish community. But all of this changed at Anshe Hesed. Suddenly, there were kids my age all around me that were Jewish too. It was an incredible revelation. This feeling did not last long, though. Constant trips to Erie in the early morning every Sunday were not my ideal plan of how to spend the weekend. My parents were all too well aware of my opinions on this, but dragged me up here every weekend nonetheless. This continued until the pandemic hit, and we were suddenly doing Sunday school online while I was in my pajamas. Again, not ideal, but I slowly began to appreciate it as the isolation continued. Gesher was a way to connect, if only through a screen, to more people, so I didn't feel quite so alone. My bat mitzvah rocked my world. I had barely met the rabbi before the pandemic at a party where I said hi at the request of my mother and pretty much nothing else. Now I had to have weekly meetings with him where I had to talk to him about what I thought of the Torah portion while grappling with everything going on in the world. As we got closer to the date, I became more comfortable around him. My actual bat mitzvah was tiny, with about 15 people there, but the completion of such a huge milestone was a relief. I began to notice my attitude toward Judaism shifting. As a Jew, one attends Shabbat services on Friday night, but as a kid, I hated this. Sitting and singing was not what I wanted to be doing for an hour. However, as I got older, I came to almost enjoy services. At my high school, there are about 7 Jewish kids, which again thrust me into a world where not many of my friends could relate to the holidays I celebrated. This truly opened my eyes to the wonderful congregation of Anshe Hesed. We have a tightly knit, supportive community here. Everyone knows everyone else, and a sense of family is always well established. I stopped seeing services as a chore, but as a privilege. In this country, we are able to congregate and celebrate together as a community relatively free of worry. Not all people are able to practice their religion so freely around the world. At services, I try to focus on the songs and the joys surrounding being able to practice something unique, as I know many people's beliefs are suppressed. So just as the Israelites did on the shore of the Red Sea, let us rejoice in our freedoms while mourning the oppression of so many around the globe. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai, that wherever we are, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, and that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh, Nora tehilot osef eleh, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed.
Britannica says that the definition of being Jewish is one who belongs to one God and who creates the universe. But being Jewish is much more than that. It's a community filled with love and compassion for the religion and each other. It's a place where you belong, and it gives you morals to stand by, such as not lying to others and especially yourself. Judaism has helped me to know my worth and what I am capable of, and I have been able to meet amazing people along the way. Please rise. Adonai sefataticha ufira gazati matera. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Barakata Adonai, Eloheinu, 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 Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Magidol, 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 El Elyon, Omer Hasadim Tovim, Ekonei Yaakov, Ezocher Haseot, Timahot, Ubehilah, Ubehilah, Le'ashulam, Barakata Adonai, Magen Raham, V'Sasara, Asadim Le'olamai, V'chayei Lo'atat Sila, Mika moka paginturo, umay jaumela, melektenim zimkaye, umasiyeshama, nemagata menyotako, barakata Adonai, nemaye, Be gracious, eternal God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love, May our worship always be accepted to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. We praise you, Adonai, whose presence gives life to Zion and all Israel. We gratefully acknowledge that you are our God and the God of our people, the God of our generations. You are the rock of our lives, the power that cheers us in every age. We thank you and sing your praises. For our lives, which are your hand, for our souls, which are your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for you, wondrous gifts of all times, morning, noon, and night. Your goodness, your mercies never end. You, our compassion, your love will never fail. You have always been our hope.
Please be seated as we take a moment for silent prayer.
We'll invite Alan and Brad forward to be our Torah holders as we rise and take the Torah out of the ark, as we'll symbolically read our Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 Commandments. The tradition for reading the 10 Commandments is one in which you remain standing, so you can choose to do that if you wish, or you may be seated if that's easier.
Anochi Adonai Elohecha, Asher Hodzecha, Meretz Maraim, Be'ech Advahim, Lo Yeha Lea Elohim Aram Al Panai. And God spoke all these words, saying, I am Adonai, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You shall have no other God before me.
לא תעשה לך פסל וכל תמונה אשר בשמיים ממעל ואשר בארץ מתחת ואשר במים מתחת לארץ לא תשתחווה. להם ולא תעבדם כי אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך אל קונה פוקד עוון אבות. על בנים, על שלשים ועל רבעים, לשנא ועושה חסד לאלפים, לאוהבי ולשומרי מצוותי. You shall not make for yourselves any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth below, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them nor serve them. For I, Adonai, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy to thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments.
Lo tisa et shem Adonai Elohecha, lashav ki lo yanecha Adonai et asher yisa et shemo lashav. Zechor et yom hashabat likadsho sheshet yamim ta'avod ve'asita kol malachtecha vayom. Hashvi'i Shabbat la'Adonai Elohecha lo ta'aseh kol malacha ata uvincha uvintecha uvdecha ve'amatcha uvhemtecha ve'gercha asher bish'arecha. You shall not take the name of God in vain, for God will not hold them guiltless who takes God's name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is God's Sabbath. In it you shall not do any work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger that is within your gates. Ki shishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim, ve'et haaretz et hayam ve'et kol asher bam, vayanach bayom ha-shvi'i, al ken barach Adonai et yom ha-shabbat va'akadashehu. Kabed et avecha va'et imecha leman archun yamecha al ha-adamah, Asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach. For in 6 days God made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore God blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which God gives to you.
Lo tisak, lo tinaf, lo tigno, lo ta'aneh, bera echad ed shaker. You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor.
Lo tachmod beit riacha, lo tachmod eshet riacha, va'avdo v'chimoro. Wait, hold on. Wait, I messed myself up. Hold on. Chamato lesharo. Wait, where? Okay. Okay, lesharo v'chamoro v'chol asher l'riacha. Oh, that's right. You shall not covet your neighbor's house, and you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, manservant or man's maidservant, nor anything that is your neighbor's.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe l'ifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Shalom, Ashivenu Adonai, Elecha v'nashua, Chadesh, Chadesh Rabbeinu,
Hi. It is a pleasure to once again stand at this bima with all of you. You are all part of a group who I had the privilege of working with you for your bar or bat mitzvah through probably one of the craziest periods of time in our recent history, right? Where we were distant and meeting on Zoom and trying to make it all happen, right? Ben, I think you get the award for having the most postponed bar mitzvah at Temple. But nevertheless, you persevered through that and also continued to seek different ideas of what Judaism means. And we have had lots of conversations through that time about what does this mean and what does Judaism say about different kinds of topical things, things that are in the news, recent current events in Israel. All of those things were, we had the opportunity to debrief and talk about together. So the question is, what do you do now? Right? Where do you go from here? This is not graduation. This is not we give you your Jewish degree and off you go. This is a beginning, right? This is a beginning of your job of how you construct your Jewish life and what you want that to look like. And know that you have an entire community and a congregation of people who are here cheering you on and looking to you as the next generation of Jewish leaders for our community. And so it's up to you. It's up to you as to how you take that next step and what that next step looks like. Maybe it's observing something you've never thought about or observed before. Maybe it's observing a holiday that you truly enjoy in a different and new way. Maybe it's thinking about your relationship with God, with Israel, with the community itself. In all of those different ways, we are pursuing Jewish knowledge, Jewish life. When Moses and Aaron are told by God that this is how we bless the people, the blessing that they are given is prescribed. It is one in which we said to you and shared with you at your bar or bat mitzvah. We share it with you now. And God willing, we'll share it with you many more times in many more happy events in the future. So,
Shaking my hand.
okay. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God always bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May God's presence always be with you and may God guide you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God always give you the blessings of health, happiness, and peace. And we join together in thanking God for allowing us to be here together. Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen.
As I reflect on my journey throughout my Jewish life, I am reminded of the many great experiences I've had. For one, like being in Miss Edie's class, where we discussed Jewish traditions and we cooked together as a class. Another impactful experience that I've had, which is quite recent, was going to DC, and especially visiting the Holocaust Museum, which deeply illustrated the horrific strategies we must never forget. If you have the opportunity to visit, I highly recommend. Now, if I were to recount all my Jewish experiences that I've enjoyed, we might never leave. But there are many incredible people that have influenced who I am today. These moments and relationships must be strong together And we must deepen each other's connection, especially now because of what's happening with Israel. And this is a time where our connection to God and each other must stay strong with all the anti-Semitism. And the Aleinu prayer beautifully encapsulates this bond, expressing our gratitude to God for choosing us and our hope for a future where his sovereignty is recognized by all. Now let us join together in reciting Aleinu. Please rise.
Aleinu b'shameach Adonacho, Latei tirano yosef reshit, shelo asanu k'loyei aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'koraleinu kechol amonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'omdim lifnei melech malchei amlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Shehu notei shamayim v'yosef haaretz u'Moshe v'Aaron b'shamayim miha'am Ushmina kuzo, Rehove Meronim, Eloheinu Beino, and Mipakenu B'Tetzulato, Kakatu B'Torato, V'Yatayom, Adonai, Nuba Elohim, Bashamayim Bima, Ve'al haaretz, V'yachad ein kol, Ve'nemar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol
Please be seated.
I've been attending temple since I was in preschool. My journey through the years has been interesting, fun, and very memorable. I've learned a lot, not just about Judaism, but about myself. I've made many friends, met many wonderful teachers and people that have helped me along the way. I think everyone goes through hard times during the time in synagogue in different ways. Like when I was supposed to have my bar mitzvah, the date kept changing due to COVID. That caused me to have an interesting bar mitzvah, having to do it on Zoom, and having to have my party almost a year later. The part was hard, but the hardest part was learning it all. And for that, I would like to thank Miss Edie, who taught me my Hebrew and worked with me a lot to prepare for my bar mitzvah. I'd like to thank the rabbi who helped me with the Torah portion and learning about who I am. I'd like to thank Jessica, who taught me about the history, culture of Judaism. I would also like to thank all of you to help me, the support that have given me, and the memories that I will cherish. Yet Gadol.
Yeah. We rise together as we remember all those
Rise.
that we have loved and lost and on whose shoulders we stand.
Yet Gadol, Yet Kadesh, Shemei Rabbah. Amad Devir Tzedek Likmat Utoy
B'chayechon u'yomechon u'v'chayei v'chol Beit Yisrael b'agala v'zman karim v'imru Amen. V'hei Shmei Rabbah v'barach le'olam v'lech Amaya Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yitfahar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei Yikudsha B'richu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata Yoran Bialma Veiru, Amen. Yehi Shema Rava Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Yal Kol Yisrael, Veiru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Mikrav, U'yaseh Shalom, Aleinu Yal Kol Yisrael, Veiru, Amen.
Please be seated. I'd like to invite Karen Kobiarski forward. And Kendra.
So great job to all of the students. Fabulous and a beautiful service, Rabbi. So thank you to all the Gesher teachers for everything that they've done throughout the year. But this is Kendra's last year. She's no longer a Gesher coordinator, and it makes us all want to cry. But you're probably tears of happiness. And we really want to say thank you to Kendra because she makes everything look easy. And she does everything with a smile, and she's touched every single family in here. And everything she's done has been absolutely incredible. She's nurtured her children, fed them, helped them, fed the parents, consoled the parents, helped them through their bar mitzvahs, their bat mitzvahs, confirmation, really everything. And she's just a special person. So Gesher family's got a few gifts together for Kendra so she can enjoy herself. And in the bags, you'll see a couple gift cards and some flowers and candy. So thank you, Kendra.
Thank you.
You didn't think I'd let you go without talking, did you?
She doesn't have to talk.
Each week, we begin Gesher with Havdalah, a way of separating the rest of the week with a sacred time and beginning of a new week. And so we thought it was appropriate that we give you a Havdalah set.
Oh, beautiful.
And so we give you this set with all of its energy and filled with our love, so that when you celebrate Havdalah, you can be reminded of the wonderful times that we were able to share here together as part of Gesher, and certainly as part of our time as we begin these new weeks. And it is a beginning for you of something new and exciting, and we wish you all well. And so we So there's a blessing that says, Baruch at b'tzeitech, may you be, Baruch at boech, may you be blessed as you have come in, and Baruch at b'tzeitech, may you be blessed as you go out. And so, Mazel Tov.
Thank you. Goodness, thank you. Yeah, I think if I start to say something, I'll start crying. I just want to thank everyone for allowing me to be part of your children's lives and allowing me into your family's lives, being part of Gesher and having Judaism in Erie. And these amazing kids are just an example of what a great program we have. They stuck through. We did the trip to DC. It was probably the most recent event and probably one of the most monumental memories I will have, going to DC with this group for 4 days and all of that. But I'm still going to be around and all that. But thank you very much. This is beautiful.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you.
Let's join together in Hamotzi, and then we can enjoy lunch.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi
Yasher Koach to all of our confirmation students. Lunch.
All right.
Get out here, Rabbi. Get out. No.
We all have these great photos, Jamie. 1, 2, 3, look over there. Look up there. Look at this. Thank you. Okay, stay there.
Over here. This is a prettier background.
What?
Yeah, that's.
I like back up on this thing. You, is this here?
Well, it's you down zero. You need to back up.
All right, I need you guys to squish in. All right. Everyone say mezuzah.
Okay, now you can get that. This is, that's 2 minutes.
That's great. No, stop, wait.